Hello, welcome back. I'm Jordan Small, Executive Director here at the NZUS Council, joined again by Leon Grice, Chair of the Council. Welcome back.
Yep.
And of course, Clodagh.
Yeah, Clodagh O'Connor-McKenna from BRG.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Great to
Thanks very much.
to have you on to
You know,
provide.
BRG is a great firm. It was set up by three people, you know, and
Last century.
Last century,
century, yeah.
Yep.
It's been going a long time, and it's very proud of the team at BRG.
Thank you very much.
And what's the G in BRG?
Well, it's a well-known, but well, actually not very well-known, Grice. It was the 1995. BRG was set up, and I was one of the founding directors, and it carries on today with a lot of the same values that we established today.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic place to work.
Excellent. Well, so very pleased to have you along, and just to provide a little bit of commentary on how you're seeing the different races. What are you watching for at this point?
Wow, I mean, I think the first thing I've noticed is that it's really not going to be a Biden landslide that some people predicted. Florida's a lot closer than everyone thought. Trump's going to probably win there, and I noticed that 538, who really are the master of the numbers in these things, say that if he wins Florida, his chances of winning jump from 10% to 30%, and that's pretty significant.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that just means that it's all on, and it's going to take ages for us to know the result.
Yeah, probably not today.
Yeah. So not today.
Well, yeah, places like Pennsylvania seem, and you know, up kind of that north, that Rust Belt area looks like, you know, could take a lot longer to count the votes.
Yeah.
They should all be counting. Florida can seem to get it done quickly. I don't know why they aren't all like Florida, but
was that a state that could start counting the mail-in votes earlier?
That's
in
right.
advance.
Yeah. So, you know, we were waiting for Florida to come in forever in 2016, but they've seemed to have cleaned up their act, and they've got a very early count. You know, and so that Sun Belt, you've got Florida that's very likely, very, very likely to go to Trump. Georgia, very, very likely to go to Trump, and North Carolina is also leaning towards Trump. So Trump's cleaned up the Sun Belt by the look of it. But as Clodagh was saying, the Corn Belt, the Rust Belt, that actually looks very strong for Biden at the moment. I didn't expect Biden to do particularly well in Ohio, and you know, half the vote counted. He's doing very well.
Yeah, but still Trump leading there, right?
No, Biden's leading.
Biden's leading in Ohio.
Yeah.
So
Really?
that's a big state, and so you know that's a compensation. You know, in Pennsylvania, it's a bit too early to say, but he's doing well in the early results there. So you know, it really is an arm wrestle all the way through. Yeah.
And the other key is going to be Texas. I mean, people have talked about Texas for a long time in terms of demographics changing. Places like Houston and Dallas, you know, really bringing in the strong votes for the Democrats. If the Democrats won Texas, it really would be quite an historic victory. But it's still too early yet. But it's really one to watch.
Yeah, what's the vote count in Texas at this
It's about
stage?
50%, but he's got about a 5% lead. Now, you know, the Harris County might have voted earlier, and that is, you know, a very strong Democrat county in Texas. And so maybe his lead is well inflated, but, you know, you normally see a Democrat trailing in Texas, but he's got an early lead.
Yeah, it would be like the Republicans winning California. You know, it's that significant. It's a huge number of electoral votes.
Yep.
It really does show the change in demographics of the country as a whole.
I'm just seeing if I can bring up Ohio.
Oh, well,
Yeah. So it's 52-48 at the moment in Ohio.
Let's
53-48. Yeah, that's so 5-point lead in Ohio.
let's see if we can bring that up for our viewers. There we go.
There we go.
We're just dealing with some patchy Wi-Fi here.
I know, yeah. So we might sort that out on the next hour.
Yeah, I think Jordan's going to be asking his board for a brand new laptop, so he's got more processing power.
I know, this is shameful, really, and it's terrible for the brand.
Yeah.
You know?
And what about, can we bring up Texas, or is that?
Oh, come on! I
sorry.
just managed to get
Sorry.
Ohio up.
Yeah, but if you look at Ohio, though, those are, you know, what you're talking about is some big cities that have gone blue. It's all red in the rural Ohio.
Yeah.
But 52-46 with how many votes counted?
53 or 55?
50. 55%.
Which is pretty significant.
Yeah,
I guess it all depends on where the votes have come from, though, which my Ohio geography is not
No.
not good enough to be able to say which places matter in particular.
All right. You guys
I'll
talk.
look on my
You guys
phone.
talk. Let's see if I can get Texas up.
Yeah, okay, you get Texas, because I think that's interesting, because it'd be nice to know how many votes have been counted in Texas. But, you know, if it continues on in that trend, and it's too early to say, if Biden doesn't keep that Rust Belt, which is Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, then, you know, I can't see him winning. So it actually is I think the fulcrum for the election now that Florida is very much gone for Trump.
The other thing which will be really interesting is turnout, right? Like early voting indicated that turnout is going to be up massively, or is that because more people are turning out, or people are voting early because they're worried about COVID? It does seem like turnout will be up.
Yeah,
and I think that's good for Biden.
Yeah, and but also turnout's been up for Republicans as well.
That's true.
I saw some data, not as much as for Democrats, but it will be good, as you say, for Biden.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I've found.
Wow, so look at that.
Yeah.
50
Wait a
to
minute.
49 in Texas.
Let me catch up.
50-49 in Texas.
Okay, so here we have.
And how many voted?
Here we go. Here we have Texas.
Yeah, it's going to be close there.
So it's less than 50,000 votes in it at the moment.
Yeah, and it's 68% counted. So it could easily go back to Trump and stay Republican. You know, we should. You know, Texas is one of those things that's been purple forever and always voted red. So
Yeah, and it's winner takes all, right? That's what we've got to remember in a place like New Zealand. It's not the electoral college votes aren't divided up 49-50 in Texas. Whoever wins gets them all.
And
So
if
that's why it's such a big prize.
So if Texas goes to Trump.
Yeah, I mean,
this
I don't
stage?
think that's expected.
That's expected, yeah. But
So
if
I
it
don't
goes
think
to
it changes
Biden,
it. Yeah, if it goes to Biden, and then it's all over for Trump. There's no doubt. But the thing that I'd make a comment that the US media has become so partisan, it's really hard to get a balanced view. You know, at the moment on Fox, they're showing every county that Trump's outperforming, and if you go to CNN, they're showing every county that Biden is outperforming, and they're feeding their audiences, as opposed to giving us a balanced view of actually what's going on.
538 though, they're the ones to watch. Data driven, you know, there's a lot of numbers, and their data journalism in terms of the way they present the numbers is just world leading. It's fantastic. So I recommend everyone go there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely my go-to. That's probably my only source.
538. Yeah, absolutely. I know. Yeah.
That's why I'm struggling so much with these other websites today. 'Cause I don't.
It's consuming all your processing power.
I don't know them. But,
And what about Arizona? I haven't seen any numbers.
Yeah, well, it
from
hasn't
there
closed
yet.
yet.
It hasn't closed yet. Of course, it's too far west. But
Yeah.
that's also a really, you know, another key state. Of course, John McCain from Arizona, famous Republican. His wife is come out in support of Biden. You know, there might be a lot of McCain Republicans that are tempted in Arizona to come over to Biden.
Yeah.
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 So how's your technology coming along there, Jordan?
It's it's terrible actually.
It's the three of us.
Struggling with the Wi-Fi.
I think we have to say we're right in the thick of it. You know, the results are coming in. It's very hard to know which way it's going to go.
Yep.
But certainly there is no landslide at the moment.
Yeah, if
No.
Florida had gone Biden's way, we'd all be calling it for Biden, but because it hasn't, it's very close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So do we need to? I mean, I know promised at the last update, you know, would have more to talk about at 3 p.m. But is it like will we have more to talk about at 4 p.m.?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think we're going to know a lot about the Rust Belt, the Corn Belt, very, very soon. And that'll tell us really, you know, it'll tell us which president's most likely to win.
Yeah. And quick room check.
Or candidate.
Oh, it's pretty buzzing. It's buzzy out there.
Yeah, everyone's enjoying a drink and watching the results.
The party's not over.
No,
it's
certainly
definitely
not.
over. Yeah. Any last comments?
Texas is the one to watch for me, just because it would really be an historic victory if a Democrat took that. But also Ohio, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, they're all the key ones to watch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Last word to Clodagh.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Clodagh.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, have you on again.
Cool.